Hello everyone, welcome back. It's supposed to be a World Coin Hunt Day today. It still will be, but this is, if you've been following my previous videos, it's a bag of goodies I bought on eBay. It's supposed to be 1.8 kilos of mixed foreign coins. There's also a bunch of banknotes. There's a Bank of India. What's that? I'm guessing 10 rupees. Yeah, 10 rupees on the back. That one, Bank of Indonesia, 1,000 rupiah. This one caught my eye. This is a 1991 10 ruble note. There is another version out there for 1961, which I've already got. I think some of the design is slightly darker. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. So that one will be definitely going to my little collection, even though it's a little bit dog-eared. And this one is Egypt. And it took me a little while to do some digging around trying to work out what some of this actually said. But it's £1, Central Bank of Egypt, and it looks old, it looks well worn, grotty, creased, and so on. This actually comes from between 2001 and 2003. But yeah, apart from that, those are just incidental bonuses, shall we say. So the actual bag itself is a complete mystery. I have still not gone through it. As you can see, it's still sealed. I've done that purposely so we can open it on camera and we can all have a look together. Now, the original advert did show quite a few coins that I recognise. There's also some British stuff in there as well, so I'll be pulling them out at some stage, moving them off to one side. There we go, there's a 10 francs there from France. There looks like to be a British 1 penny there, another one there. There's a threepence. There's, what's that? That's a 500 lira Italian. Malaysia 20 sen. So we've seen those before. And there's even our old friend, the French 2 francs. That one's from 2000, which I'm pretty sure we've seen before. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm not going to go through every single coin, because like I say, there's a lot here, and there's about 1.8 kilos. I'm trying to open the bag without splitting it too much. Try not to slice my hand open. Here we go. Right. That'll do. So what I'll do is I'll just tip some of these out. We'll try and do a form of a hunt anyway. Just go through, see what we've got, and have a closer look at a handful of them. Right. First bundle out. Yeah, I can see a lot of British in there. So if you're into your British coins, you're going to like this. So we've got halfpenny. So that one is 1970. What? Oh, I can't get it to focus. I think it's 71 or 74. I can't quite work it out. Very common. Even though these were phased out 40 odd years ago, they are still around. What else we got? Let's just pull some of this British stuff out. So we've got a 1936 penny. So we've got George V. Very common. Ourselves a George VI penny. That's 2 years later, 1938. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of British stuff in here. 1964, so that's Elizabeth. Let's just pull some of these out of the way. I'm not going to be doing the usual facts and figures and numbers and dates and whatever I usually pop up, because I'm just going to rattle through this rather quickly because there's a lot here. So you've got a 1977 crown, worth 25 pence. These are as common as they can be. Every school kid was given one back in the day. I've got one of my own I was given from school. Yeah, at best it's 50p these days. They're not really worth anything. People chuck these sort of ones in to mixed bags like this to add to the weight of the bag, make it look better than it actually is. Some more British. We've got a threepence. That's an Elizabeth. Where's the date? 67. So that's the last year that one was issued. 1960. Also Elizabeth. What else we got? A nice worn penny. 1874. So that'll be Victoria. There we go. Very, very worn. I've actually got one in my collection that's a lot better than this. But most of these will be going back into some sort of tub for onwards selling, shall we say, at some point on eBay. Where's that one we got there? 1918, so that's the First World War period. It's also got the ghost in. If you notice the raised lump, it's where King's head was struck to a minting a little bit, either once too often or a bit too hard. So it made a small impression on the back. That's quite common actually in 1918 pennies. What we got on that one? East Africa, 5 cents, 1963. Yeah. I collect East Africa coins. I don't know if I've got 1963. I probably have because all the Elizabeth stuff's quite common. So I will have a closer look for that one in my collection at some point. Pop that one there on the end. What else have we got? Ooh, what's that? Oh, American cent. That date is really grotted up. Can't work it out. Is it 94, 84? Yeah, it's just normal Lincoln cent. Nothing fancy there. I can go in the pot for spending at a later date. Another Elizabeth penny. This one, I think someone's put a cleaning fluid or something to it. It's overly shiny for what it is. 1962. Plus, it's got a bit of a ding to it. There's a bit of a curve. But yeah, again, very common. Sixpence, 1965. Very common. So there's going to be quite a bit of this, unfortunately, I think. I'm hopefully going to get a couple of coins that we've not had before or not seen in the past. What's that one? 10 francs, 1954. We don't see them that sort of age profile that often. Recent hunts we've had some from the mid-late 40s and loads from the 60s onwards. So 50s, nice little addition. Now, that looks new to me. 20-somethings, it's shiny. Ah, New Zealand. So that'd be 20 cents. 2014. So that's probably current circulating currency. Definitely haven't got that one in the collection. That's a nice one to get our hands on, isn't it? I don't know if you guys have done something similar in the past where you've just gone out, bought a boatload of coins just to see what's in there. Some of what I was looking at when I was browsing through the advert, I didn't recognize a couple, so it'd be interesting to see if we can find them when we're looking through. So we've got 5 centimos. Yep, there we go. 1870. Not too sure. I think that's Spain by the looks of it. Yeah, that's Spain, of course it is. Look at the crest on the shield. I'm pretty sure that's Spain. So 5 centimos, 1870. That might be another one to look into. Got another Israeli coin. That's 10 agarots. These are quite common. They pop up. I can never work out the date, so that's the trouble. So the date is always the bit just there at the bottom, and it reads from the right to the left. So the funny thing with most coins is you get the coin in its own language, and you might get it in a little bit of Latin, in other words, Western speak English. Whereas Israeli coins, you've got the word Israel, you've got it in Hebrew, Arabic, and in English. So it's 3 languages on one coin. It's quite fascinating, the sort of useless information you can pick up from just going through old coins. Right, there's nothing else there that really stands out. What's that? Ah, another Hungary coin. We've been getting a few of these recently. We got 2 forint. Yeah, I think we had a 2 forint before on the last hunt. Oh, hello. 10 centimos, aluminium, and it's Franco, so that is Spain. Is that 1959? Yeah. Don't think we've had that one before. I might have to do some digging on that one as well. So far then we've got the New Zealand, the Spanish, and the one I think is Spanish. Tell you what, let's just put those over there. Top left. What else have we got? There's a Japanese coin. 10 yen. Can't quite work out the details there. I'll have to look at that closer. Or is that Chinese? No, that's Chinese. Yeah, that's Chinese. The dates are pretty much the same sort of style. So, but again, what I'm going to be doing with quite a few of these is chucking them into the tub for future hunts, proper hunts. But anything like we've got here with all these pennies and everything, they're as common can be. So I'm probably going to go through this bag at some point with a fine tooth comb and just get rid of a boatload of them. Here we go. 50 somethings, got Endeavour. We've seen this one before. This one came out on a recent hunt, about 2 or 3 hunts ago. 50 cents. I think this is either Australia or New Zealand. Yeah, there you go, New Zealand, 1982. Can't remember the year that we pulled, but that is quite a nice little find. So that'll go into the New Zealand bag of bits. Another sixpence. Halfpenny, 1952. Another 1918 penny. As you can see again, that raised area, that's where the king's face was over eagerly stamped. Penny, 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 halfpenny. Let's just chuckle them off to one side. Is that a 1912? Nope, 1919. Yeah, that one's got the same thing. Overly stamped king's head. The thing to watch out with some of these 1918s, I think 1919 was a 1920 something as well. They've got additional mint marks on them. You've got an H. Usually, if I find one that's half decent. Yeah, here we go, 1918. So, certain years, 1912 for example, just to the left of the 1 before the 9, there's either a small h or a small kn. So the H is Heaton Mint, and the KN is Kings Norton. Both of those are in Birmingham. That is very well worn. Not worth hanging on to. That looks, I want to say Dutch. Belgian. There we go. 1916, 25 cents. We've seen those before. There's our Italian 50 liras. Yeah, Austrian 1 shilling. Is that 1985, 86? More liras. Ooh, 1903 penny. That will be Edward. There we go. All in all, that's pretty good condition. I've seen them a lot worse than that. What else have we got? 1962, 20 francs. This is one we haven't seen for a while. 25 centimes. 1985. Sorry, not centimes, cents. From the Netherlands. These were popping up every so often. There we go. Belgian 1 franc. And the spelling there, as I always call it, I wind people up, I love it. Belgique, that's the French spelling for Belgium. If it just says Belgie, then it's the Dutch variety. What else have we got there? What's that one? Oh, that's another 1 shilling from Austria. 1947, so post-war. Aluminium. Quite a few coins in Europe were aluminium after the war. It's almost as though there's a metal shortage. Wonder why. Let's have a look what we got. Aha. Commerce Industry, 1922. So that's France. That would be a good for 1 franc or something like that. Yeah. Bon pour 1 franc. We've had these occasionally as well. They're nice to get hold of. There's about 3 or 4, I think, that do a year run. I think it starts at 21 and then it runs through to about 26, 27 with a gap in the middle. So that's another Austrian, another penny. Eek. 50 drachma, 2000 in Greece. Yeah, take my word for it. It's grotty. Eek. Got ourselves a very, very worn halfpenny. So, George V. Is that 1918, 16? Can't work it out. Very, very corroded, very worn rather. I've got far better, even in the doubles pot. Here we go. 1 shilling, 1961. The Scottish reverse. There's a Scottish and an English version. This one's got a bit of scuzz on it as well. Elizabeth II on the obverse. Now, although this is pre-decimal, these carried on for many years into decimalisation because they ran alongside the new 5 pence. So you had 5 new pence, and then it just became 5 pence in the early 80s. And it was around about that time, I think these were starting to be phased out. But yeah, this was the what's that? Yuck. This one and the 2 shilling, 2 bob, they were both continued. So the 2 shilling carried on and ran alongside the 10 pence. So yeah, these are fairly common as well. Let's see if we got anything. South Africa. 1 penny, 1942. Yeah, I think we've seen 42 or 43 in the past. But yeah, that's one that will definitely go back into the tub. Be nice to pull that one out, see what we've got. There we are, another halfpenny. Told you, common as muck. Centimes. Ooh, who's that dude? Oh, 2 drachma. Greece. Chuck that one into the tub. Ooh, we've got 10 cents. Anyone got any ideas which country this one is from? Going in 3, 2, 1. Singapore. Yeah, we had a Singapore coin. I think it was the last hunt or the hunt before. And it's one I've not seen before. So it's nice to have. We don't get many of their coins, but when we do, it's always a nice little surprise. So that will also go into the tub. That was another halfpenny. Another American Lincoln penny, Lincoln cent. 1964. There's a Japanese 1 yen. Yep, that way around. What year were we looking at? Can't focus the old eyeballs. There we go. So we've got the first two just denote the period. That's Showa. So we got year 410. So that's 40. Come on, focus. Thank you. And that other one looks to be a 9. Yep, that's a 9. So that's year 49. Not too sure when that is. I think that's... when did he come onto the throne? He came on in 26. So 50 years later would be 76, 75. This is either 74 or 75. 1974, I'm going to say. But again, that's the sort of thing we'll put into the tub. What was I saying about Singapore? There's another one. 1991. Bit on the grotty side. 20 cents. Let's just drag all these off out of the way. We've hardly made a dent into this bag. There was one really old looking coin that I saw in the posting, and I was hoping it would be hit the end that I've opened, and it's not. Oh, stop ferreting, man. Come on, just put a few more out. See what we've got. Right. 5 Groschen, 1953, so that's Austria. Yeah, that's Austria. Get these every so often. They're very nice to get. Another Elizabeth. Yeah, shilling. There we go. That's the English back for the shilling. So where's that other one gone? There it is. So you've got your English reverse and your Scottish reverse on the same coin for the shilling. So yeah, quite common. That is 20 drachma. Yeah. Just trying to see if we've got anything. Oh, hello. Who are you? Ah, Turkey. Oh, he looks like he's up to no good, slinking away. What's he hiding? 2.5 lira, 1979. Yeah, I remember as a kid, lira, Turkish lira, and Italian lira. I think it was the Turkish lira more than anything. You could have thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and it was only worth about a 10p. So this was obviously before the lira became a bit unstable, because a few years later they did bring out the new lira, where it basically put the currency on its head. Right, 1967 penny. Last year they were issued. Yeah, there's a lot of old British in here. It's another old halfpenny. Yeah, I might be able to get a couple of quid just for the weight in copper. That's that. Another one. That's 5. Oh, that looks old. 1999. So talking Victoria there. Yeah, veiled head. Again, 1999, 1900. Very, very common years. Australia, 5 cents. Is that the echidna? Is that what that thing is? I can never remember. I think that's the echidna. Yeah. Aussie coins. I do like getting the Aussie ones and the Kiwis. You've got some nice designs on the back, all the different animals. 1946. That's French. That's 5 centimes. Yeah. Not seen that one for quite a while, actually. Yeah, here we go. There's the earlier version of the shilling, and this particular one, again, is the Scottish one because it's got the thistle on it. If we come across an English variety, I'll do a quick comparison. So what else we got? Lira, centimes. Nope. I could sit going through these coins for hours. I love it. Here we go. This is what I was saying. 2 shillings. This particular one is 1957. This would have gone alongside the decimal. So after 1971, post February 71, 10 new pence. They were the same size and held the same value. And then these, like the shillings, were phased out about 10, 15 years later. And we were just left with the new pennies, which became just 5 pence and 10 pence. Right, that is the one I thought I saw on the advert. What do we have? Very worn. There is nothing to go for. Oh dear, that's a shame. Yeah, never mind. I'll look this one up. I'll see if I can find a bit more about it. Give you a rough idea of what it is. I can never remember whether that's George the Third or William. But yeah, I'll look into that one and I'll post something up. Here we go, a Roman coin, Vespasian, and guess what? That is as light as they come, made of aluminium. It's your cheap knockoff type thing they do in freebie packs of replica coins, that sort of thing. That's just not worth hanging on to unless you're into your Roman coins. To be honest, I only go back to the late 1700s. Before that, it just gets a little bit too unwieldy for my liking. Right, more pennies, halfpennies. Oh, that's another Victoria. Veiled head. 1900 on that one. We got there 1903, so it's another Edwards. Ooh, that's another old one. That's one of the George the Third or George the Fourth. Eek, very corroded. Might better make out a date on that. 1775. So that's George the Third. But yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll see if I can find something on that. Got ourselves a wheat penny. What's that, 19? Can't quite make it out. Light is not too good at the moment. We have all that glorious sunshine the last few weeks, and the day I go to film this, the light turns to crap. It's always the way, isn't it? Here we go. I got another halfpenny. Oh, and another one. Ourselves one Pfennig with a D mint mark. 19, come on. 86. D is Munich, I believe. So, yeah, although these were out from about 1950, this style of Pfennig, so the ones, the fives, the tens, and so on, they came out for quite a while. So 1950 to probably the 1990s, and it was post unification as well. So this would have been that date, 86, would have been West Germany, but it would have been carried on being used after unification and when it just became Germany. So East Germany, when it became unified with the West, they would have started using these as well. So they are out there. There's a lot of them, and they're one of the sort of coins. German stuff is great if you want to do year runs, but be careful because of the mint marks. What you find, there's about 4 or 5 of them, and you've got to get each one just to make sure you've got the set. So sixpences. Ooh, another old German. Deutsches Reich, 1899, 5 Pfennigs. I've got a few of these. Same sort of principle with these older ones as well. Down at the bottom, either side, I'm trying to get it to focus, either side of the tail feathers of the eagle, there's a letter. That's the mint mark. So even these earlier ones, you'll probably find there's 6 or 7 with different mint marks. So you've got to get, no, it's Pokemon. You've got to catch them all. So that will definitely be going into the tub. Another halfpenny, that's going to be going in the bin at this rate. What we got there? Half Anna, seen these before. Yeah, there's the king. 1944. I think we had a 43 or a 44 pulled on a recent hunt. Yeah, pretty much of a muchness for the rest. 10 centimes, just get those out of the way. That one's Kenya. We've had some Kenya ones recently as well, which is always nice to get. 10 shillings. So 1997. 10 centimes, 1943. So, wartime France. Again, always nice to get. That can go in the tub. Right. One last bundle, I think. And I might do another video with the rest once I've gone through them. Once I've gone through this little lot, I'll pull all the English out, get rid of that lot. And then we can do another video. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. If you are, let me know in the comments, because that'll give me an idea as to whether to go ahead and do another video like it again, or just do a normal bog standard run-of-the-mill coin hunt. Right, so we got ourselves a Hong Kong 20 cents, 1975, when it was still under British rule. Another 20 odd years at that point. Another penny. Oh, hello. Got ourselves a half crown, 1948. Quite common. There's no silver content in this one. Pre 46, 47, they had a bit of silver. Now there's just copper and nickel. George V, 1919. Again, big impression on the back. Get rid of those halfpennies. Another American penny, 1974. Yeah, just your normal Lincoln penny. Ooh, this is one we have not seen for quite some time. 1,000 lira. That's the Italian coin. Very nice. Trouble with Italian coins is the dates are usually very, very, very small and tucked away at the bottom somewhere in the design. It's a case of finding it. So that will definitely be going into the tub. That'd be a nice one to pull out at a future date. There we go. 1966. 2 Pfennig. What have we got on that one? That's a D as well by the looks of it. Pennies. Eek. Badly bashed sixpence. Don't want that. Got ourselves 1 centime from France. I had one of these the other day. I think it's 1960 something. Yeah, that one's 69. Pennies, pennies. Yeah, most of that lot. Tell you what, one last one. I told you I'd get too engrossed. I love doing these. Right, this is it. No more. And it looks to be, yeah, it's all British or UK stuff. So we've got a 1905 penny. 1916. On Elizabeth one, 1964. Couple of halfpennies. Right, crown size, 1965. That's going to have Churchill on the back. Yep, there you go. This is another one that's just as common as they come, like the Silver Jubilee. They throw these in just to add weight. I mean, just to give you an example of the weight, let's just see if I can get my scales out. Zeroed. So the Jubilee one, 28.2 grams, and the Churchill, 28.4. So, you're talking nearly 60 grams worth of weight, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're buying coins by weight, that is a lot of weight when you could have had a lot of those instead. So always be careful when you're buying. If you can see the image, see how many of these there are. If there's too many of those, run. Right, last one. Promise. Don't recognize that straight away. 5C, so I'm going to say 5 cents, what it usually is, or centimes. What's that? Netherlands. Ah, okay. Trying to find a date on it. Can you see a date? I can't. Oh yeah, there it is. Idiot. 1913. That's a nice one. You know me, I like my wartime coins and I like my old coins and I like the shiny stuff. So this is, I know we've not done a proper hunt, but this would be my pick of the hunt. 1913, 5 cents from the Netherlands. Excellent. Well, I'm going to call it quits there. Like I say, we've still got about half the bag to wade through. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed watching, just ploughing through the bag, seeing what we've got. And like I say, I'm going to pull out all the British stuff that I can for now without going through the bag. And then what's left, pull out any of the extras, the common liras, the common centimes. Everything else will then go into the tub. Give that a good mix. So that will be seen in a few hunts' time, hopefully. But if you did like this style of quick sort of unpacking, like I say, let me know in the comments. If it's worthwhile doing, I'll do the rest. I'll do this little lot on camera. on a later video. If not, I'll just go through it, I'll base it on the comments, and I'll throw the lot straight into the tub. And it'd be a nice surprise then to see what else we've got. But I will be getting rid of a load of copper. So these are just the ones that I pulled out just now and put to one side. As well as all these, they're going to be gone. They are not going to be going into the tub unless they are something like that, a Victoria. So it's a nice one to pull out at some point. So it'll be a surprise down the line. Anyway, like I say, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider a like, leave a comment, regardless of whether you want me to carry on doing this style of video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If there's anything there that I might have missed that you like the look of, shout out. And maybe click that subscribe button. It'll help in the long run, getting more people in with the way that YouTube works. And I will catch you lovely folks again soon. Until then, take care. Cheers all.